Hey, them type of things right there be killing me, bro. Because when you set yourself up for them comments, they gonna wear your ass out. Swear to God.
If you ever do a crime, bring DJ Yella with you.
Yeah. Damn, yeah, that's sorry.
And he
bro.
sounds believable when he says, like, oh, okay, maybe he's never been to Compton. I mean,
I don't know what happened to Yella, man. More power to you, Yella. Much love, bro.
That's what it is. BG Knockout, man. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
when
having
in
me,
here, man. Congratulations.
I know we got a little heated, bro, on that subject.
That's okay.
That shit
I
touchy
can
to me,
take
though,
it.
Vlad, man.
No, it's
Because,
okay. I
like,
can
that shit,
take
it
it.
disturbs my heart, bro. I'm not going to lie. To see the people in Gaza going through what they're going through, bro. I wouldn't want that to happen to nobody, to no Jewish people, no anybody, bro. I swear to God.
Either, man.
Even the people that enslaved us, as much as that shit peeves my soul, I wouldn't even want to do it to them and their kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because my heart just ain't made like that. You feel me? So, you know, that's all I want to say.
I agree, man. Look,
Yeah.
my whole life, Israel and Palestine has been going through it.
Yeah.
It's been going at it. It's been shooting each other, killing each other my whole life. And I don't know if I ever, you and I have never really kind of jumped on this topic before, but I remember when I went to Israel for the first time, they were taking us around, kind of showing us important parts of the history. And they took us to this one square, right? And the significance of this area was that at the time, the president of Israel was a guy named Rabin, right? Rabin was a general in the Israeli army. So he was, front lines, active battle, everything else like that. He had been going at it with Arafat for decades at that point. Both sides were getting killed, so forth. Him and Arafat got to a point, because they're starting to get older at that point, that they realized that if they, if their grandkids had a chance of actually having a peaceful life, they need to actually start negotiating with each other as opposed to just shooting each other. So there was a famous meeting in America with President Clinton where the two of them shook hands on camera. This was unheard of.
Is that Camp David?
No, I think it was actually the White House.
Okay.
There might have been meetings at Camp David, but I think officially there's literally like a video on the news of the two of them shaking hands. So imagine the leader of Hamas and Netanyahu shaking hands on television.
Yeah, something needs to happen, bro.
But I'm saying, like, imagine that. That's the significance of it, right? So this was a watershed event in world history, right, at that moment. And there was now steps being taken to actually figure out and, give land back to the Palestinians and, make accords and everything else like that. But when you have situations like that, remember the whole terrorist conversation I had? There's going to be extreme groups that are not happy with it. So there was actually a group of Jewish extremists that were extremely mad that this was happening. So there was this young kid, he was maybe in his early 20s. He was going around meeting with these sort of real right-wing rabbis, some of which were affiliated with Netanyahu. Like Netanyahu was kind of part of this whole sort of overall group. And he would ask these rabbis, he's like, look, in the Torah, it says that if someone kills Jews, you should be allowed to kill them. So therefore, Rabin, with his policies killing Jews, shouldn't Rabin be killed? So the rabbis were like, well, yeah, in theory, I guess, you have a point. He should be killed by Jewish law. We're not going to do it, obviously, but yeah. So this guy got inspired to kill Rabin, an actual Jewish guy. So in this square, there was a big rally, and Rabin was walking through the crowd. And he got killed by an Israeli Jew. And then at that point, he got replaced by Netanyahu, or a Netanyahu type character, and it never went back to that point again. He was actually trying. So then the person got replaced, didn't want to negotiate. So then everyone was pissed off and whatever else. So then the next person didn't want to negotiate with Arafat, and ultimately we are where we are today. But there was an actual moment, and this is what I mean by terrorists are designed to stop the peace process.
Yeah. I get it.
Things start to happen, progress gets made, and then a school bus gets blown up. And then people say, you can't negotiate with these people, they're animals. They blow up school buses.
Yeah.
You have to ignore, if let's just say that was ignored and they went right back to the peace process, something could have happened significant at that moment in time.
I just don't think Hamas is that powerful because you got to think they're in a broken country.
Yeah.
First of all, their infrastructure ain't shit over there.
Right.
So they can be stopped like this. That's what I'm just saying. Like if they wanted to really smash them, I believe they can do it in a day or a matter of days. You know what I mean? So I think it's a reason to keep them going and to keep the other extreme side going as well. You know what I mean? So
I mean,
at the end of the day, I just want peace, man, for everybody.
You might be
know
right,
what I'm saying? But it got to be something, Vlad, because it just don't make sense. This been going on since 1947, bro.
It doesn't make
insane.
sense.
It's insane.
And here's the thing: that you're talking to someone who's actually been there, and it's always lightweight tense over there. So, for example, like, you know how, I don't know, have you ever walked into a mall with metal detectors?
Of course.
Okay. Well, in Israel, I remember in Tel Aviv, they have people that they're not checking for guns and knives. They're looking in your bag for bombs.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
I understand.
So you're walking into a mall and you're checked for a bomb.
I understand, but if you've been bombed since your great grandparents was alive, you probably not all the way here mentally. You gotta think about that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of insanity over there. I heard the fucking dogs are schizophrenic, like the animals from all the bombs. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've seen it and read it. I've seen videos and I've read it as well. So it's not a normal life for anybody over there. I just wish y'all please, like, do away with the whole situation. Like, it's just not cool to witness, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope it gets worked out.
Inshallah.
Yeah, I hope it gets worked out, man. I have a lot of, Muslim friends.
Yeah.
You.
But when you say that, it sounds kind of like, I got a lot of black friends. Like,
Okay. Well, but you don't hear a lot of Jews. You don't hear a lot of Jews saying it. You see what I'm saying?
I understand, but no, a lot of Jews do though. Because you have Jews who are against the extremist side of Israel as well.
Against the extreme
That's marching
side.
they're marching with the Palestinian people in America as well. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I've publicly said, like on the Breakfast Club and on social media with millions of people retweeting it, that I feel both sides are wrong, and I'm not in support. I'm not sitting here saying that one side deserves to be right.
The fucked up part is the people in the middle who's having to deal with it, who have nothing to do with Hamas or Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's the fucked up part.
Yeah. I think it's extremely sad the number of civilian casualties that are happening.
Yeah, bro.
I think on both sides. On both sides. But unfortunately, it's a lot heavier on the Palestinian side.
Right.
And I think that's, for example, like, if someone we're in Van Nuys right now. If someone in Van Nuys shot someone in Calabasas, you don't go and blow up all of Van Nuys.
Exactly.
So you don't blow up a building in Van Nuys because you're trying to get one person. So ultimately, the way they're handling it is bad, and it's also creating a lot of, a lot of people being upset at Israel for the way they are handling it. So it's
you gotta
messed
think
up
about
on both sides.
the generational damage that comes from that as well.
Generational damage, and it's also like
almost
at the end of the day,
irreparable, bro. At this point,
no matter how you look at it, you can't have the same leader for like 20 years and expect a good outcome. Every country you see this in, whether it's Cuba, whether it's China, whether it's Russia, whether it's